ready to get started?
Yeah. Yes.
All right, okay, all right. So thanks for being here, everyone, and I'm just excited to be doing this. It's something that's been on my mind and my heart and my prayers for a long time. And by introduction, my name is John Morrison, and you call me Coach Morrison, call me Brother John, whatever you want to call me. But I'm a person who loves to teach, loves to learn, and loves to share the things that I learned. And I have been teaching and learning and sharing for probably over 50 years. Started when I was 9 years old. I learned the martial art move from my cousin, and I said, man, this is amazing. And so I just basically started to learn, teach myself, had books, had some personal teachers, and then by the time I was 15, I started actually teaching people. Teaching me working out in the park, and said, you teach me, and I would start teaching them. They had some students. And when I moved to Canada, same thing. When I moved to Canada in 77, I was 16, and I dropped out of high school to help the family. And so living in Canada, I had to learn some things quickly. I had to learn to speak French. I had to learn to be an adult. I had to learn to just function as a person. So I started to go to the library and study and learn all kinds of stuff. And again, once I learned things, I would start to teach it. And the main thing for me was the fact that if you can learn something and then understand it enough to teach it, then that helps you to even get it better for your own understanding. The best way to learn something is to teach it to someone else. Break it down so it makes sense. They call it hacking now, shortcuts. But it's really about getting the information to someone without making them too messed up in their head. And so, for a long time, my focus was on martial arts. Then when I became a Christian in my 20s, I started to read the Bible, I started to teach. So my focus was on, spiritual things. And then as I got older, I was driving a cab for 18 years. And they actually saw my skills and actually had me come into the class and just talk to the students about how it is being a cab driver. But it got so popular, they wanted me to come in and talk every time we had a new class. They said, well, John, why don't you just come in and work with the teacher? And so I started working with the teacher, a guy named Eric. And then he quit, new guy came in, and then he got sick. He hurt his back. And they said, well, we got a new teacher, so John, can you just teach the class? And in the entire history of the Yellow Academy, never had a driver teach the class. I was the first one. So I taught the class, and it was really great. Had a lot of success. It was this wonderful thing that I was able to do. Because again, when someone goes through something, they know how to overcome the obstacles. The shortcuts are right there. So anyway, that became my focus, helping them. And then my wife, she's got a ministry, Divine Ministries, with sponsors today. And I started going into the renewal center, halfway house, and teaching the prisoners. And I did a few things. I taught them about Bible stuff, and we did a basic Bible study. And I realized, these guys need leadership. So I started what I call kingdom leadership, which is about taking what you have and making yourself great. So you'll be talked about more in the focus. But it was really successful, it was really good, and I wanted to expand upon it. Now actually, I wrote a book called Welcome to the Kingdom, which is now looking to be published by at least 5 different houses. And not to brag, but I think God gave me a gift, because most times when you submit something, a transcript or a manuscript to a company, they make you wait months. But mine was, as soon as I sent it, they gave me a call back the next day, they said, we like it. So all I got to do now is just get the funding and figure out which way I want it to go, but it's wonderful. So, but why are we here, and what am I all about? Today is called Focus 5. Okay. And so the thing that I'm going to be focusing on are the 5 things that I found to be good in my life, beneficial. And so I'm going to present it to you in the 5 areas. And so our time, we won't be here for a long time, but I want to give you guys enough time at the end to talk to me personally. We can pass some one-on-ones. So we're not going to be here till 1 o'clock, but that's the time they give me. So that's great, okay? And so the Focus 5 is for you to see what I'm all about and to help you to use some of these focuses for your life. Okay, so welcome to Focus 5. So the first thing we're going to focus on is memory improvement. And so the notes I've given you are going to help you to kind of read up on this when we're done. You don't have to look at the notes if you want to, but I've given you some pad and paper. You can use that to take notes. But we're going to be talking about memory improvement. Now, most people have what is called a ordinary memory, basic memory, okay? And so what happens is they think that in order for you to be able to memorize something, you have to have this like a gift, like Rain Man or someone like that who has this natural thing like an autistic person. There's actually a disease called autobiographical disorder. And there was a show that was on a few years back called Unforgettable about a woman who had this particular ailment. And what it was is she could not forget anything happened in her life. From the time that she could, from infancy to her present day, she remembered every day of her life. And she used that to solve crime. But could you imagine if you cut your finger, you can never forget that pain? Okay? Or if you had a heartbreak and the pain never went away? If you had an accident, you never forget the impact of the accident, how it made you feel. So having an autobiographical disorder is a disorder. You don't want that. Your brain is a forgetting mechanism. It forgets things all the time, which is good. Because if you remember everything, your life would be stressed out. So something happens to you, and you kind of forget the pain, forget the feelings. A lot of times, if I say to somebody, have you ever broken your leg or broken a bone? And they still smile, yeah, when I was 15, I broke my, but they're actually smiling about it, but how come they weren't saying, oh, wow, because the stress and the pain is gone, and the memory is kind of dull. Or have you ever gone to a place that you haven't been for a long time, and notice how much has changed in your memory? Yeah. You know? Or you've seen someone, like, remember when I went to Canada one time, anybody who I hadn't seen for over 12 years, first thing I said was, oh, you're taller than I remember. You know? And so it's like, that's how your memory works. It's a natural memory. But there are two kinds of memories. There's trained memory, and there's untrained memory. And trained memory is not about, again, memorizing anybody's names and phone numbers and faces. No. It's about being able to focus on what you want to remember and then use that as your technique. For example, let's say you went to a party and the host told you, there is a room there, and just take your coat, throw it on the bed, and that's where all the coats are going to go. You've seen that before, right? So what happens is you're in the party, and you get a call, you got to leave. It's an emergency. So you call your Uber, and you say, it'll be here in 5 minutes. You say, great. You go to the room, and there's a bunch of coats all over the room. You can't find your coat. So you're scrambling through all these coats, you can't find it, Uber comes, leaves, you missed it, okay? Well, that's what a untrained memory is about. You place it somewhere, you know where it is, but you can't retrieve it. It's like a fact, a number, a name, something. You place it, you wrote it down somewhere, you put it somewhere, but you can't retrieve it, okay? A trained memory is this way. The guy goes to the party, the guy says, in that room there are hooks on the wall. Hang your coat on the hook, and that's what it'll be. So the same thing happens, thing comes up, the guy's got to go, calls for his Uber, goes in, takes his coat, and he leaves. That's what a trained memory is. It's about placing things where you can retrieve them, okay? So that's what it's all about. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to help you to learn to put things where they need to go so you can retrieve them later. It's not a panacea. It means a cure-all. I forget things all the time. I tell you all the time, you forgot this, you forgot to do this. You know, but the point is, it's just about being able to utilize technology and science to do things better. Like for example, I recommend that everybody carries a pad with them at all times. A pad and pen. Why? Because you meet someone, you want to write down those notes, and it's where you can get it, it's right in your pocket. That's smart. That is a memory system that I recommend. It's not about everything being memorized. It's about being able to access it. So I write things down. But the point is, if I write something down and I focus on it, then I know what I wrote down. But the notebook pad helps me as a secondary. For example, I met a photographer here today. Okay, Benny, he introduced himself to me. And how you doing? Okay. And he told me that his birthday was March 31st, yes. 1960. Yes. Okay, very good. And so you were born on a Thursday. Yeah. Okay, right. Okay. Yes, sir. Okay, and also his phone number, he wrote it down, and it was 579-2166.
That's good.
Right. Okay.
That's good.
And so the point is, it's like I might not ever call him, and I might not even remember his birthday. But the point is, the fact that it's in my head, I can now take that and write it down in my note. So I focused on it, then I can put it into a place where I can retrieve it. That's what that's all about. Okay? So what I'm going to do right now is give you a demonstration about how memory works for pegging, and then we'll go into the technique to teach you how to do it. So what I have here is a magazine. I got some magazine that I purchased, and I'll just put this here, and I'll put this here. Okay, so we'll do one thing. So we'll take the magazine, okay, and look at it, okay, and tell me the page number, and I'll tell you what I remember. I remember one thing on every page, so I got both things around, but and once if it works, then we'll. But make sure I can't see it because make sure I can't see it. Okay, all right. Okay, so I can't see it. And just give me the page number. And if it's an ad, skip the ad, just go to the main thing. But if you can see the page number, great.
Page number, you call it out on the page.
Page 24.
24.
Okay, page 24, okay. Okay, page 24, what I see on it, there is a picture of a group called One Direction, and all the members are kind of standing there in the picture. You see it?
I see a group.
Right, that's the group. So the group of them standing there, right? And they're One Direction. Okay. All right. Turn to another page, because maybe that didn't press in light like that.
I'm gonna press.
I am good.
Okay, give me a
Okay, page 38.
Oh, okay. Okay, page 38 is the last page of the link, right? Yeah, it is, right. Okay. I'm sorry, you said 38. I'm sorry, not 48. Okay, I think I remember that. There's a woman, her name is, I guess it's an Indian name, Mindy, Maling, like that, and she's Indian. Right, okay.
That's what it is. Oh my God.
And we'll do one more. Mary, I'm gonna put up for you. Hand it to somebody else. So go ahead and make that there. It runs out.
Front page.
No, I want a page number. Anything in front this time. I'll just forget. Go, Mr. Winter, you want to get page?
Page 22 and 23.
Okay, it's page 22 and 123 is about a guy who just died. His name is Liam Payne. He's pictured right there. And on page 23, you can see they talk about that there was some drug paraphernalia and stuff that was found in the room where he died, right? Right, okay. So that's basically what it is. All right. on, we got time.
Let Mr. Rogers.
Page 10.
Okay. He said page 10. And on page 10, there's a lot of things there, but what I remember, I can see a guy leading a girl like this here. There's some camels on page 10. Is that right?
Right.
Right.
You forgot the camels.
I got the camels. Okay. Yeah, we'll do one more. We'll move on. You want to do one?
Sure.
Okay. So, but hand him the magazine, then we'll move on.
Thank you.
So we're gonna do it a little different this time. We're gonna do a little different this time. Okay. Have a seat. Here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna show you how your memory is kind of thrown off. I'm gonna turn around. I want you to put your fingers in the magazine, open it somewhere, and then look at one page only, and then close it, but keep your hand on the page. Okay? So again, just pick magazine.
I don't wanna do that, cause that was the same page somebody already mentioned.
Then just find another page. Close it. Okay, now, keep picking on the page. What did you see on the page? Just describe the page to me.
I saw a woman's face, her profile, and I saw a glove.
Okay, so you see a woman's face. Was it an ad or was it an actual?
No, it was an ad, it appeared to be an ad.
Okay. I didn't look at the ads, so find
Another one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wow, it's the same, once again, it's one of the same pages somebody already mentioned.
Just find another page.
Got it.
Go ahead.
So, you want me to tell you the page?
No, I want you to look at it, close it, and tell me what you saw on that page.
I saw, Rihanna the entertainer, 2 pictures of her, and if my memory serves me, there was a crossword puzzle.
Oh, okay. So the 2 pictures, what colors were they? Don't look at it.
I don't remember, they were different. One was light, like a yellow, and
Okay, one was like yellow, one was blue.
blue, correct.
Okay, very good. Did you see anything in the background?
I'm sure there was something there, but I don't remember what it was.
Okay. Now, this time I want you to open the page and look at it.
Mhm.
And did it change anything in your memory? Did it change?
Yes, it has changed.
Right, okay, because you can see she got like yellow on the one side,
Mm-hmm.
blue on the other side,
Blue on the other
and
side.
then there's pictures on the wall, and their hair colors have changed as well. You see that? There are pictures of women on the wall in the background, and their hair colors are different as well.
Yes.
Okay, very good, okay. And that's page 44.
Yes.
Okay, that's it. So we're done with that. So again, I think that's impressive. But now, why did I develop that particular technique? Okay, that's called pegging. And I'm gonna tell you how important that technique is. When I was in school, I would go into classes and take tests. And I would write down my notes, put things down in keywords and phrases and whatever. And so I knew what the questions were, because what we would do is we would actually review the answers before the test was taken a week before. So I knew what they were going to ask me. Just wanted to make sure I was going to review it. So what I did was I used this technique to memorize key points, put them in certain places in my mind, so I can actually review them anywhere I was. So imagine that this magazine that I went through, it took me about half hour to go through this magazine to get to the key points. And now I can drive and see page 5, page 10, page 20 in my mind. I can lay in bed, see the magazine. And I purposely, before I came here, did not look at that magazine today. Didn't look at it. It was in, my wife knows it, right? We put it in the folder last night and did not look at it again for the last 12 hours or so. But I knew what was on every page because it's in my mind. And so what happens is, imagine if you were in school and you would write down your answer on your desk and some of the graffiti, and so you'd be cheating. Oh yeah. Well, it's kind of like cheating without cheating. All the answers are in my head, all in order. And so I just got to just review what I had in my head, and I got straight A's. But what made it special was, not only did I pass the test, once I was done with the test, the answer was still in my head as knowledge. That's the most important thing. A lot of times we take a test, and at the end of the test, the stress is off, but now we got nothing. All we did was cram. We don't want to do that. So I'm going to show you how you can use this particular technique, or similar to it, to actually put things in your memory, use them, and then be able to make your life better. Okay? Again, it's not a magic pill. It's a scientific method. You have to put in the time. So I'm going to give you what I call the body list. The body list is 10 places you can use to memorize things, and you're going to use your most personal possession, your body, as a pegging system. So it's pretty exciting, okay? Well, everybody, if you can, or everybody, if you can stand up if you can. Okay. And so we're going to, you don't need paper. So that's related. Okay. It's all over here, so it's all good. So the body list is going to help you to memorize 10 things, but you need to know the list of the body. Makes sense, right? So we're going to start from the toes, move up. And so all I want you to do is just work with me, and we'll get this memorized. So number one are your toes. So point to your toes, look at your toes, and say, one is toes.
One is toes.
Good. Number two are your knees. Both your knees. Touch your knees and say your knees. Very good. Okay. So what's number one?
Toes.
Good. Number two? Knees. Okay. Number three are your thigh muscles. These called muscles. Thigh muscles. Muscles. Okay. So number one is toes. Two is knees. These are muscles. Good. Four is your right side. So go to your right side. Okay. Five is your left side. Okay, good. So let's go again. One is toes, two is knees, three is muscles, four is left side,
Right
five is
Left side.
right side and left side.
Yeah, okay.
Good. Okay. Number six, shoulders.
Shoulders.
Cut your shoulders. Cross your arms, cut your shoulders. Okay. Number seven is your collar. Your collar. Okay. Let's go back. One is toes, two is knees, three is muscles, four is right side, five is left side, six is shoulders, seven is collar. Good. Eight is your face. Is your face. Nine is the top of your head, the peak. Is the peak. Okay, let's go back. Number one is toes, two is knees, three is muscles, right side, left side, shoulders, collar, face, top of your head, peak. And the number 10 is ceiling or sky. Ceiling or sky. Okay? That's it. Now let's go backwards. Ceiling or sky. Top of the head. Face. Collar. Shoulders. Left side. Right side. Muscles. Knees. Toes. Now let's go from the beginning. Toes. Knees. Muscles. Right side. Left side. Shoulders. Collar. Face. Head. Ceiling. Sky. So now what you do with this here, and it'll take you a little bit of time to get the order down, okay? So you'll be going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Those are the 10 spots. But they're going to help you to memorize 10 things initially. If you stack them, you can do 20. If you stack them, you can do 30. I can do 5 or more per spot, so I can do 50 with just my body. Okay? But I have other systems that I use. So, but this is just an introductory system that I find to be useful. First one I ever learned, and it's better than the one by you see your shoes, 3 is knee thing, because it's personal. So what you would do is, you could imagine, let's say you take 10 things, and I always use nouns, things that you can see. Like I wouldn't say the word interesting. That's a concept, right? But you can think of a hat, a chair, the nouns. So what you do is you place them on the peg and you use what I call mental glue. You use action, motion, emotion, and size differential. Like if something is big, make it small, something small, make it big. You place it on the first peg with some mental glue. So let's say, for example, if the first thing you were memorizing was a tree, you imagine that on your toes there are trees coming out, and you think, what kind of tree? Like I think a Christmas tree. So I see the lights, the presents, but they're miniaturized, they're on my toes. So all my feet, all my toes, there are Christmas trees. Just imagine that. And once I got that, okay, what's on my toes? Tree. And then like, if number 2 is like a light switch going off and on, imagine that my knees are lights and they're going off and on. And again, I use imagination. I feel the heat of the light, the illumination. I can see it in my eyes. I use all the emotions to make these things really stand out. Okay. And then again, if I go like stools will be on my muscle. Imagine someone is sitting on like a bar stool and they're sitting on my thigh muscles. And I just imagine that. So at the end, I have all these things I memorized, and I review it an hour later, 12 hours later, a day later, and it sticks. It's there. But the beauty of the system is that when you want to use it again, all the things you placed on it, they disappear. They don't stay forever until you activate it, because it becomes sort of like a piece of paper that you write something on. It's a clean slate. It's a clean sheet. So that's why I gave you these notes here. Go into your mind, look at what you want to memorize. Use simple things first, because you don't want to get too much involved and get disappointed. Okay? You can ultimately do this to memorize scripture, speeches, anything you want, but you want to start with baby steps. Please, just use ordinary items in your house or in your mind, nouns. Do that until you feel comfortable, and then you can say to somebody, hey, I can memorize 10 things. And they say, oh, yeah, what? And you can have them say this, and you can have to do it. Now, one of the best things that I like to do, this is kind of like a secret, because you know the order, I can actually say to somebody, give me a number and give me a noun, and they'll say, oh, okay, number 7 is dice, and number 6 is like a gun, and number 3 is a stool, and number 1 is a tree, all the way through. Number 9 is a cat, and number 10 is a bowling ball, whatever they say. They can tell it to me out of order, because I place it in a place that I know what the order is. And I go back and say, okay, yeah, so you said tree, light, stool, car, gone. I can say it in order, backwards and forward, because they don't know that I placed it in a place that had a number associated to it. So every place is important in the order. What's in the magazine is not important, but if I want to memorize it as a system of 48 things, then I need to place something in a numeric spot. So everything that I placed in that magazine was linked to the number of the page. And that's how I was able to do it. Okay, because I actually made a number something physical. Okay, and that's how it was done. So it's no secret. You can find this stuff in libraries, you can learn it online. But when you see someone actually use it, you see the power of it. Okay? And so I want you guys to have this attitude that you have the power to be more, have more, do more if you focus on something that's going to help you. So that's the first focus, memory improvement. And I hope that is something that was helpful to you, okay? Now we're going to move on to our second focus, math. Now, when it comes to math, most people understand that math is something that you learn in school. It's a subject. And we learn to count from 1 to 10. And we can all do that right now? Great, But the problem is that just like when it came to the alphabet, we know there are 26 letters. okay? And we know them all, okay? But the point is, a lot of us can't read or spell, because we don't know the power of the letters. Same thing with math. People can't do math because they don't know the power of the numbers, okay? So I'm not here to teach you how to do math. I'm here to teach you how to think mathematically. That's the most important thing. So I'll do a couple things here, and just kind of to make a point. Okay. Let's say 6 times 7. Do we know what that is? 42. Okay, everybody knows that, so it's 42. Okay, very good. So let's say, what is 42 times 42? Does that come quickly? Okay, so people don't understand that, okay? The thing about numbers is, and again, I really didn't want to go into this too much, but I wanted to kind of show you a couple things. If you understand, you know that 4 times 4 is 16, right? Mm-hmm. Okay, good. You know that 2 times 2 is 4, right?
Yes.
So you can kind of see what's there. I mean, it's not hard. This is a 16, and this is a 4. Okay, so what's the hard part? It's the middle part. And this is 8, so isn't that 16?
Yeah.
Okay, so the middle part is the part that throws you off. Okay, and so I'm going to show you something here that I learned in Vedic math. Vedic is perfect. It's an Indian technique. If you do a number, even writing it down, when you start from the right side, you're still lost. So I go 2 times 2 is 4, and I go, but I don't know what that answer is because I'm starting at the tail end. It's like, for example, if you were to see an animal walk past you and you saw its tail, you could guess what it is, which might be wrong. If you see its head, you know what it is, right? It's a dog. Okay? So why do we approach math by looking at the tail? Look at the head. Okay? It starts with 16. It can only go from there. Okay? So it's not scary. So now what we did was, we look here and we see a 16, and then we see the middle part, it's called cross multiply. We go 16. So now what we do, we go 16 plus 1, okay, is now going to be 17. And there is a 6 laying out here somewhere, okay? So that's going to be something we see the 6. But now we see there is a 4, but it's a single digit. We don't add single digits, we just place them. So now we see here, this was a 16 plus 1 is 7, 6. It's a 6, and the 4 is a 4, and that's the answer. How hard was that? It's not hard at all, okay? Make sure you got that. What we did here was we saw this was a 16. We saw that this was a 16. Right? Okay. And we just said, okay, it's 16. No big problem. We know it ended with a 4. We don't freak out. It's not going anywhere. The 4 will never change. All we gotta do is take the middle part, which equals 16. 8 is 16. So now you took the 1 of 16, or the 10th part, added to the other 6, made it to a 7. 1, 7. The 6 is still there. 6, 4. That's the answer. That's how math is done in the head, by looking at the beginning part and moving over to the end. And again, if that doesn't register, it's okay, we can talk about that later. But that's as hard as math ever gets. There are principles of it. Now let me talk to you now about the features of math. Math is based on 9 numbers, okay? That we can see and one that we can't. So really there are only 10 numbers, right? What's the first number?
1.
Nope.
0.
The first number is 0. You know why? Because if you have nothing, that's something. It's nothing. You add to it and it becomes 1. So in your system of math, there are only 9 numbers. Or 10 numbers. It's 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Those are the 10 numbers. Everything else are just continuations. At 10 is a 1 starting with a new division, so it's 1, 0 to 10. So let's look at the magic and the features of the numbers from 0 to 9. As we know, 0 in the right spot changes the world. When they discovered the tens, it changed the world because now you make 20s, 30s, hundreds, thousands, as opposed to just what they used to do was they would go, let's say something was 9 times 7. They would say 7, 7, 7, 7, 7, 7. But now they realize, no, you got the 0, so now you can actually start figuring out 63, or whatever it happens to be. Okay. So let's look at the number 1. Number 1 is an identifying number. It doesn't multiply, it just identifies. It's one man, one woman. There's no multiplication there, okay? But 11 is a compilation of that particular aspect of it. It's pretty impressive. Who can do 54 times 11? You know what?
You can do it.
So let me show you what we have first. We have 54 times 11. Now, watch how we do this. Take the 5 and the 4 and separate them in your mind. Okay? Now add them together and drop it in the middle. Okay? So now you've got 9, right? That's the answer. So now, let's say it together. 54 times 11 is 594. Let's say it together. 54 times 11 is 594. Okay? That's simple. Okay? Now, let's come back. And I'm going to say 62 times 11. Okay? So let's do the exact same thing. Separate the 6 and the 2. Add 6 and 2 is 8. Right? Okay. So now, what is 62 times 11?
682.
682. Okay.
Okay.
So now, now we're matching this. Okay. Before you couldn't do it, now you can do it.
Right.
Why? What? Because you weren't smart. You didn't understand the feature of the number 11. That it adds things together. It identifies. It says, oh, 5 and 4 is 9. Boom. 6 and 2 is 8. Boom. That's the feature of 11. Okay, so now, let's talk about the number 2. The number 2 is a number that doubles. Okay? And it's easy, right? 2, 4, 6, 8, that's boring, right? But think about it. When you have a doubling effect, you have what's called a binary system. Binary systems are how we have computers. On and off switches. That's all it is. Without the binary code, we could not have photography, films, computers, the internet, all of that. It's all based on the idea of taking a number and doubling it. That's all it does. Whenever a calculator has a number, you say, for example, what is 6 times 7? It'll take that number 7 and it'll just start to double it. It'll start at 1. It'll go 1, 2, 4, 8, 16, 32, and it won't go any higher because the number is not any much higher than that. It won't go to 64. Then it'll start to look at numbers that don't align up to the number, and it'll say, oh, it's going to be 4 and 2, and that's the answer. It does it quickly. We don't even know how to do that. We don't do it that way. But that's how computers learn to think, because they're not human. They only can do operations on and off. But it happens so quickly, you say, wow, they're so smart. No, they're not smart at all. They know how to deal with one thing, doubling a number. Okay? So that's how it works. So 2 is very powerful. Now let's look at the indications of doubling. Okay? You guys ever heard this thing where they say if you were offered a job for a month, and they said, look, I'm going to give you a job for a month, and I'm going to pay you in either one or two ways. I'm going to either give you $100,000 day one, or give you a penny the first day and it's double every day for a month. Which one would you take?
$100,000.
Okay.
So I know that probably is wrong.
So here's what happens, okay? You get $100,000, okay? Right up front. or you get a penny, doubling every day for a month. And this is only 30 days, okay? If you go back to your wife and say, I got this new job, and they offer me $100,000. She says, great, and here it is. And so she's gone, right? You're working for a month, but she's out somewhere, spending that money. Now imagine if I went to my wife and I said, sweetie, I got a new job, and she says, great, how much are they paying you? They're gonna give me a penny the first day, and double it every day for a month. Now she's gonna go with your wife because I'm crazy, right? Look what happened. On day one, I worked all day long, I got a penny. Wow. Day two, worked all day long, I got 2 cents. Great. Next day, worked all day long, I got 4 cents. This looks pretty grim. Okay, I got about 27 more days of this happening, and I only made about 7 or about 6 cents or so. Okay, but the effects of this start to show themselves by the second week. And so, how much do I have at the end of the month? I got $5 million. I got $5 million. Because the effect of doubling over 30 days made it so big that, think about it, at one point it goes to $16. Next day it's going to be $32, and then it's going to be $64, then it's going to be $128, and it's going to be $250. You see what I'm saying? It goes and goes and goes. It exponentially grows. So now, 30 days later, that penny went to $5 million. But guess what happened? They told me, they said, you know what, this month is 31 days. I forgot to tell you that. I got $10 million. Because he doubled. Okay? That's the power of doubling. That's why 2 is so important. And unfortunately, no one can do that. You guys can start the penny the first day, but by the second week, you're running out of money. You don't got that much money coming in, okay? But this formula, this way of thinking, is still crucial because I can show you something. Let's say, for example, you play the lottery. And the lottery is $5 a day. You spend $5 a day. And what's your chance of winning the lottery when you play like the Pennsylvania lottery, data lottery?
1 in 10 million?
1 in 10 million. So you spend $5 a day, you don't win. And then maybe halfway through the year, boom, you won $5 million. Okay? And you're happy. Well, I got $5 million, okay? And then you play. And then maybe, again, the chances are really slim. But let's just say, for example, you got near $300, okay? So you get $800 the entire year, and you feel good about that, okay? But think about what you spent. You won $800 because the money came in and you were happy. Great, success. But what we're telling you that if you were to do this instead, there are 7 days in the week, right? So let's say from Sunday, you got Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Okay? For every day of the week, you save $1. So $1 here, $2 here, $3 here, $4 here, $5 here, $6 here, $7 here. Okay? And then you start again on Monday. What happens is you got $28 a week that you're going to be saving. And at the end of the year, you got $1,456. Okay? $1,456.
How you get 28, wait a minute.
All the numbers together.
All numbers together, you get 28.
Okay, got you.
Okay, good. Okay. So at the end of the year, you got 1,400. Can you see that right there, properly? At the end of the year, you got saved 1,456, I believe. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So that's what that would give you. Okay. $1,400. Okay. That's at the end of the year. That's what you save just by putting $1 away every day for the month. Now, would it be a bad thing for you to end up at the end of the year with $1,400?
No.
By just putting together a couple of little cents, okay, every day? Or, let's say, for example, instead of doing that, you just save $5 a day. Who here goes to Starbucks? Now, who here goes to Starbucks? Going forward. Okay? So let's say you go to Starbucks every day for a year. Okay? And every day you go there, you spend $5. $5 is nothing, right? It's nothing. Come on. Okay? At the end of the year, you gave Starbucks $1,825.
Wow.
Okay? That's what you gave them by buying coffee every day. So imagine if you were to just put away $5 a day, so at Christmas time, you can have this money to go shopping for Christmas. And does it hurt just to put away $5 a day?
No,
You can do that by saving change, or just making a point to don't buy something, and you put it away. The power of math is that over time, you start to see a result.
okay.
So just like the person who spent $5 a day at the lottery, and he ended up with this. You ended with $1,000 more because you didn't gamble it, you bet on it with math. Okay? You said, it's gonna give me something in the end. And so that's the power of math. That's what I want you to walk away with, not how to multiply it by 64 or 42, how to start to put together something for yourself that if you start in December, or if you start now, make a difference. In a year, this will be yours. And imagine what you could do at the end of the year or end of a year with $1,800 because you decided to put something away. Now, let me think of something else. Let's say you were to go to your boss and say, you know, I get paid a certain amount of money and I want a $2,000 raise. You want your boss to say, give me a $2,000 raise, what do you think he might say?
It's a she, and she'd say, I got a check with, money people.
Okay, but whose boss would just say, yeah, give you $2,000 raise? Probably not, right? Which one's your boss when you say, is there a way you could possibly find me an extra $1 or more an hour? What might they say? Yeah, that can be that. That can be that. Okay. Well, if you do the math, you're going to find that, okay, so you've got 40 hours a week, that's $40, and you got 50 weeks, okay? That's $2,000, okay? It's the same thing. $1 an hour is $2,000 a year. Now, let's say, for example, that your boss couldn't do that for you, but he probably could with $1, not a big deal. But think about this here. Let's say, for example, if you told yourself, I'm going to save $8 a day. Okay? So I'm going to cancel something or put something away and just put $8 a day into this little jar. That's the same thing as $1 an hour because you work 8 hours a day. You can save $2,000 for yourself by, I don't know, canceling some subscription for something that was stupid or just made a concerted effort to put away an extra $8 a day. Over and above your $5 for your savings, okay? It's not that hard to do, okay? The point is, by making some concessions, by making some changes, you can make your life shine on purpose. That's what it's all about. So who here can't save themselves? Let me do one of those. Let me put away $8 a day in a jar, $5 a day, you know, and again, I don't even talk about putting in the savings. You can take the $1,800 you want and then put it to the bank at the end of the year. But I want you to see the power of the compounding, you know, effect of that particular thing. That's what that's all about. Now, I want to show you this here, just to kind of have fun. The highest number is 9, a single digits. Anything else relates back to 9. Okay, I'll throw it to you. Okay, so you're 64?
Yes.
Okay, so what is, let's do this on the board. Okay. So you're 64. Okay, so what is 6 and 4 together?
10.
Okay, good. And if you take away 10 from 64, what do you get?
54.
54. What does that equal?
I didn't hear you.
What does that equal? 5 and 4?
9.
Okay, good. Okay. Let me see. Someone a little bit younger. How old are you?
52.
Okay. So he's 52. Okay, what is 5 and 2? 7, okay? So 52 minus 7 is 45. It equals 9. Okay? Every number equals 9. Okay? And your age kind of shows that. So I'm going to show you how powerful 9 is. Okay? And why you should learn the power of 9. Okay. I'm going to number here. Let's go 7, 5, 2, 4, 8, 2. Doesn't make a difference. Okay. And if you want, you can write it down in your notes as well. We can kind of work together. Okay. So this is a pretty big number. Who can multiply that for us? You know what to do that? Okay. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to do this together. We're going to show you the power of the number 9. And again, this is for fun. We're going to move on. This is lots of fun. The difference between 2 and 10 is what?
9.
The difference between 2 and 10 is what?
8.
8. Good, very good. We got that. We're away. Okay. Now, for every number here, we're going to look at the difference between this number and 9. The difference between 8 and 9 is what?
1.
Good. So we're going to add the difference to the number over on the right. So 1 and 2 is 3. Got that? This is going to be a 5, right? 4 and 5 is 9. So 5 and 8 is 13. We carry the 1. This would have been a 7, but it's still 1. 8 and 4 is 12. We got 2, carry the 1. This was a 4, but it's a 1, it's a 5. 5 and 2 is 7. Okay, I'm not done yet. 2 and 5 is 7. And because we did a 10 here, we're going to reduce it by 1. This is a 6. That's the answer. Okay? It's okay, it's okay. Don't worry about it. But this is the feature. All I did was I just took it between that number and 9 and add the number on the right. Okay. Now, I don't know if anybody has a calculator. Can you verify that for me?
So I'm multiplying.
7, 5, 2, 4, 8, 2 times 9.
7, 5, 2, 4, 8. 4, 8. That's
No, that's 6, 8.
7, 5, 2, 4, 8, 2
7 times 5.
times 9.
7, 5, 2, 6.
2, 4.
2, 4.
That is not a 6, it's a 4.
I know, it can't look at 6, that's you saying,
Wait,
it's
what
4.
is that?
Who's over there? Okay, this is a 7, this is a 5, this is a 2, this is a 4.
Oh.
That's an 8, not a
It's
6.
6.
I couldn't
Yeah,
understand that 4.
6.
Okay.
Yeah. All right, sloppy, I knew it was.
Excellent.
I got it. Okay, good. But now, so we did. Hey, fantastic. Now I'm gonna show you something here. All numbers that multiply by 9 will equal 9. Okay? Now watch this here. We're gonna do what's called a digit sum. We're going to cast off 9s.
Okay.
Okay. So this 7, 2 is 9. That's cast off. Okay. 6 and 3 is 9. That's cast off. This is 11 and 4. Okay, is 18, right?
No.
I'm sorry.
That's 15.
This is 11,
Oh,
Right.
that 11, yeah.
and 7 is 18,
Okay.
and 18 equals 9. There you go. Okay? So this number multiplied by 9, the result equals 9 when we break it down to digit sum. That's powerful. Okay? It means that there is order in numbers that make sense. So that means that when you start to save money and look at the features of numbers for time, for speed, it's a science behind it. It's going to work for you. So let me give you a couple things you can do when it comes to numbers. Reduce your calories, 500 calories a day. Okay, figure out your metabolic rate,
Yeah.
figure out what you need to maintain your weight, reduce it by 500 calories per day, you'll lose 50 pounds in a year. Okay? Because you'll lose a pound a week if you trust the math and use it. It works. When you're driving a car, you never know if they say that the speed limit is 55, but what happens is, you can actually, they tell you it's going to take 5 miles, 5 minutes. That's 60 miles an hour. So they allow you to go 60 miles an hour. When you drive, for time's sake, make sure that you keep 5 car lengths behind whenever you drive. Okay? I drove for 18 years as a cab driver, never once got a speeding ticket. Why? Because if I had to get somewhere in a hurry, all I did was I stayed behind the fastest car at a certain length that it looked like I was going slow to the guy behind me. People often pass me at high speed and give me the finger because they thought I was going slow on the highway. When I was actually going 80 miles an hour. Okay? And so it's not about breaking the law, it's about don't break the math. Okay? Because at 10 car lengths, you will never get to an accident because you're keeping that distance. And when the cop sees you from behind, you look like you're going slow. He might chase the guy in front of you because he's going fast, but he'll never stop you because you kept that distance. Okay? That is a mathematical concept that I use to drive. Okay? So it's just something I give you. Don't change lanes and do not crowd on the highway. But there are so many things that we can talk about, but I just want you to get focused on math as something that is special. And I'll end with this. If you guys have children and they want to learn something, someone told me to do this. Stand up, put your hands out. Okay, and we're going to multiply. You can sit down.
Oh, you said
Okay, sorry. Put your arms out. We're going to multiply by 9 and show it to the kids. Okay, so take your 5th finger and bend it. Okay? Okay? And so 5th finger on the left hand, excuse me. 5th finger on the left hand, but keep all the other hands out there. So take your 5th finger and close it. Okay? So 5 times 9 is 45. You got that? Okay. Now take your 6th finger and bend it. Now 6 times 9 is 54. You see that? Okay. Take your 2nd finger and bend it. Okay. 2 times 9 is 18. You see how that works? That shows you how your fingers are mathematically set to multiply by 9. All right? So I think that's pretty good. Okay. All right. And I just think, again, it's so powerful that when you realize there are so many things you can do in math, you just want to go on and on and on. You know, like I can do calendars, I can do a lot of stuff. But the point is, I'm not here to impress you. I'm here to press upon you that math is your friend, to let the anxiety go away. And again, we'll have time at the end. You want to talk about something specific? I'm here for you, okay? Next thing we're going to go on to is language acquisition, okay? Now, I had asked before, has anyone here ever studied a foreign language? Okay. Foreign language, okay? What language did you study here? Italian, very good. Okay, anyone else? German. Anyone else? You said French, okay, very good. Okay. And so, you went to class, you sat in there, and you spoke to you in Italian, and you had a lot of fun. How many years ago was that, and what can you say in Italian?
How many years ago was it? Like 50.
Okay, you're talking about 74. Okay, that's okay. You were a young man back in those days. Okay, you were like 14, or I guess you were 13, I guess you were. Okay, 14. The point is, what can you remember? What can you say?
I remember the song.
Okay, of course, you're a singer, right? Okay, that's good, okay. How much you want to sing it? You want to?
I can do it.
Go ahead, you got time.
Too low side, one total mighty. Too low side, crudel. Il no provo, altrimenti morì codati di me. E poi
translate. Okay, that's good, that's good. So the point I want to make is, and that was great, I expected, but I guess I expected something from Gary. Everyone here in the room is a polyglot. Polyglot means you speak in many different tongues. For example, who can say something or knows, for example, like you said, Italian, ciao, or bonjour, or in Japanese, konnichiwa, Chinese, ni hao, hola, you know, por favor, do svidaniya, okay? So we all have heard phrases in songs, in movies, you might have taken a class. So the point is, learning a language is not a hard thing to understand, but you need to concentrate on a specific language if you want to be able to use it. And so learning a language is this. It's not about memorizing phrases or dialogue, because what happens is, and again, with respect to Gary, you know that song, and there's lots of words in Italian, but could you use that song to help you to communicate in Italian?
Certain words.
Okay, but it would be kind of hard, right? Because you got to kind of go into it, and you got to find it, okay? And so people get the wrong idea of what language is. Language is about being able to understand signals and then to respond to them, okay? Say, for example, you're walking down the street and someone yells, chicken. What does that mean, right?
Right.
Chicken. Okay? What if I yell, duck? Oh. You duck, okay? You respond to something because you understand what it means.
Right.
And that's the whole point. So we need to understand that words and languages have meaning that gives someone a response. Like, for example, if I say to someone in Chinese, oh yes, I can speak some Chinese, and they say, what can you say? I'm supposed to say, they can say, ni hao, they're like, ni hao, right? But if I go, well, I mean, oh, that means I love you. You see? So it touches them. Okay? And so the point is, we need to start to learn to say things, different languages that touch people inside themselves, inside their heart. Nelson Mandela said, if you speak to a man language that he knows, it goes to his head, but speak to his language that he speaks, goes to his heart. So for us to be able to speak a second language, we need to start to say things that resonate to the people that we're speaking to. Because I can stand here and speak to you in Italian, okay? But unless you understand it, you say, oh, that was cute. But it doesn't change anything. But like the other day, I had a lady in my car, I was taking her, and when I passed my house, I always blow the horn, to let my wife know that I'm passing. And so she told me she was from Germany. And so I said to her, I said, my house is on the Ecke. And she said, oh, what? She said that, it was no accident you said that, it was perfect. Okay? And I learned, I haven't studied German for years, and I don't know much, but what I told her was, my house is on the corner. And she responded to it, okay? And so, you have to understand that when someone is, imagine if you were in a foreign country, and you were being around the environment, you were trying to, do your thing, but you felt like a foreigner. You felt like, okay, I'm here in this country, and I don't know nobody, I'm trying to struggle through the language. Then you meet somebody who's from America. Wow, you're American. You kind of feel like you're back at home for a little bit. You feel comfortable. So when I said to her, my house is on the Ecke, she was back in Germany for about 3 seconds. Because the phone listening was all clear. That's her language. She speaks English as a secondary language, but her language in her heart and in her mind is German. So when you say someone who is of that language, you're actually touching their heart. You're putting them back into a comfortable space, and it really makes them feel good. That's why it's important for us to learn to say something, because you're touching people's hearts when you say something that they understand. Does that make sense?
Yes.
All right. So I had a lot of things planned, and I'm not going to do them. They're not that important when it comes to language. Like I said, I learned French, and it was great. When I learned French, I worked in the warehouse, and we would learn how to say things that were based on what we're doing, like changer, like comptez tout le boîte, temple numéro chacun, a société dans le camion. Okay? And say, so take the box, count them, tap the number on them, and then throw them into the truck. That's what they told me to do. And I was like, yes. Count it to the block, you see? Take the number of chacun, and société dans le camion. Okay, that's what I did. So I knew what that meant. So a guy would come and he's English and said, what are we doing? And I said, come to me, numero. Tap me, numero, chacun. And show me my camion. Okay, and that's what it's all about. It's like, okay, we understand what's going on. Okay, it wasn't that hard. So that was all about. What you say?
The Japanese China.
That was French.
Really?
Yeah, that was French.
Really?
Okay. That was Quebecois French, I guess. But anyway, so that's what it's all about. So when you start to live in an environment, you learn how to say things. Okay? And so what you want to do is you want to be able to tell your story in a language. So like you would say, je m'appelle, right? Je m'appelle. Or you can just say, je suis. Or my nom is John. Je m'appelle John. Je suis John. It's not that hard to do. In Chinese, you would say, 我的名字是 or 我叫 John. I'm called John. 我的名字是 John or Johann, like you say in Chinese. You say, but it's really not about trying to become fluent. It's more being able to flow in the room that you find yourself in. That's what it's all about. It's about being able to be comfortable in the space that you find yourself in. Okay? And so very quickly, I'll tell you what I do. Every day in Chinese, I always say just this one thing. I'll just say a couple seconds of it. It's called coffee. And the article was, a guy read an article that said that coffee was bad for you. So he decided not to drink coffee anymore. And next week he read an article that said coffee is good for you. And so now he's confused. So he said, 我最近看了一篇文章，说喝咖啡对身体不好。我非常喜欢喝咖啡，每天都要喝3-4杯。所以看到这篇文章，我很不高兴，觉得要改变我的这个习惯，要喝茶，而不喝咖啡。但是一个星期之后，我又看到一篇关于咖啡的文章，但是这篇文章说，喝咖啡对身体好，可以让你活得更久。看完第一篇，每次喝咖啡都感觉我在伤害自己。看完第二篇，每次觉得喝咖啡对身体好。我应该相信也不真的，其实两篇我都不信。我们应该相信那一篇是真的，其实两篇我都不信。我们不应该关注这样的文章，做自己喜欢的事情就好了。Okay, I said, you understand where I said, but the point was, what I said was, you read the article, it said coffee is bad for you, next it said it's good for you, you make you live a long time. He said, which one should I understand? In the end, just do what you want. That's what it was, okay. So the point is, if I were to meet somebody who was Chinese, and they would say, well, what can you say in Chinese? And I go, well, it's 18, tell me my John. They say, wow, this guy's great. That's the whole point. So I don't do it to impress you, I do it to impress people who speak Chinese. Because they're the ones who want to understand it. So, all I want to say is that when you get to a point in your life where you want to learn to speak a second language, have a reason to do it, have a focus point for what you want to do with it, and then don't be afraid to go out and meet people who speak it. Like whenever we go to Chinese restaurants, I always try to say something in Chinese. You know, like I'm showing off, but I'm touching their hearts. You know, if I say to the person, for example, I say, well, hola, means I'm hungry. They laugh, and it's funny, you know? And so it's about touching people's hearts. And that's any language. We all should learn to say something in the foreign language because we're all are calling us. We just don't know yet. And thank you for that. So now, what I want to do is, I'm going to give you guys a 5-minute break. Okay, get something to eat, get a snack. We'll come back and we'll do our last 2 focuses, okay? So please take about 5 minutes.
I used to do it.
Yeah, I feel comfortable. Hey.
He's from neighborhood resilience. He works with one of Thanks for that. How long you been?
I strolled in maybe like, oh, I'm on
20 minutes ago? No, don't worry about it. This is just on Facebook.
Yeah,
Did you get some?
Yep, I have a bag of chips and some water. Thank you for inviting. Thank you for inviting. No problem. I had to drop my wife off at work, but we were. I think you would understand. I found myself in a lot of jail this week, having to do a little more trauma-informed conversation recently about you. And so, to be honest with you, I slept. I was like, I needed some rest. A lot of people didn't do it, so I was just like, you know, at the end of the day, we're going to use that. Lord and Savior. Yeah.
These are so good. Yeah, I don't feel like he's saying like that. I've been like, I keep watching the news. I'm like, I don't want to hear it. I want to hear it. But
I can tell you this. I asked somebody, I said, how did we persevere? And they said, you can spend counties and talk to still bring people together. So that's what you do. You bring people together and say, thank you for having me.
Absolutely. I didn't know that.
And this is right down here.
Yeah, it is. We've been knowing me for 30 years.
What I think, it's probably about trying to teach them about practice telling you that you actually need to go out and learn it. And I have to go back and do that. I think that's all really well. But I want to burn that in your brain.
Well, what would you do? Just like you said, you take somebody else and that's not
And it's for me, it's like I've been doing this stuff for really, I don't want to do anything
But that's all we do. One time I wanted to get ready. I wish that some of them when we retired in 2021, these were taking that was what I wanted to do when I was a kid. We had shifted to ministry, teaching kids who really talk to each other about of course, I was a prophet, would change. But this was I poured it that means that it's going to work.
Well, being rich is sort of like being able to go to the well, and the well's always going to be water.
Yeah.
Being well is like having a dam, and you hope the thing doesn't fly. I had a job, I knew you don't develop about it, but I'm always out there working, you know what? That's what God gave me the rest that I have left, to get comfortable. I write books, stuff, I write stuff. And so if I get comfortable with it, I'm going to go home and relax with my wife.
I don't want to chase it. I don't want to be chasing. People miss they miss that thing trying to get something. You know what I mean? Especially in our communities. We miss being people trying to be somebody. And so, stuff is
This is so nice. I've learned, I love to learn. I just love to learn. Enjoy that. Say, what's your birthday? Or whatever. Not your birthday, I'll tell you what time what do you say, what day, what time you was born, or something, or what day you was born. You always do stuff like that. This brings us back to basics, why not focus, just like you said, focus. Right. And I don't always focus like that.
It helps you to like choose opportunities. When we competitive and want to learn something more than somebody else, we can learn together, grow together.
Yes.
You got it.
Yeah. This time, the age we live in. I had 11 grands, 6 great grands. And they were trying to tell me that they do it like that. And I'm like, I'm good. I go from the left, from the right, they go from the left.
Steps and work on the steps and stuff.
I said, how you do that? We don't do that. Okay, so,
Can I tell you what I learned today? It's about the lottery. That one taught me. Oh, I can say my whole time. I can say my and I can say all the money. At the end of the year, instead of spending $600.
Not, it's like learning this stuff is like,
We spent $600. You never
it changes over time, how being taught.
yeah.
That is their
I gotta go.
I said, one, she put two, you know that was right.
Yeah.
So I shall return in 2 minutes, everyone.
Well, actually, I work in another memoir. It's Roger, she's now I'm doing now. Now being now. What did I say? See, you're a pro, so it's hard to say.
I want to make sure you and Mr. Roger exchange numbers. Okay.
I was looking for it.
Wanted to have an exchange.
Remember?
Phone numbers.
Yeah, I can do that now because he's leaving at 12.
Right, okay. Give him your information. Give me him around today.
That's why they invited me to work. I was the only person there who wasn't pushing the right off.
Oh my God.
And we sitting around the table, I was just sitting there, I was the only student there. That was 75 or 76.
Wow.
So that far back to country, I was talking to Lily, first assistant director.
Charlie, actually, our website, Charlie was going to take off the rules and talk to him. He said, all right, and he was going to help me. He was going to.
Thank you.
What's his name? You know, the gentleman that's representing.
All right,
All right, folks, I'm ready to get back. And, I wish my wife started talking, it would be all right.
Okay, this is good, this is wonderful.
Thank you. Okay, so welcome back, and you know, I'm just really, you know, I feel good about coming out, you guys coming out. When I conceived this, and I prayed about it, I didn't know who was going to show up, but I just knew that I had something I wanted to offer, and everybody showed up. I'm just very thankful that you're here, because I think we're going to have a really good day. And in fact, I've already spoken to people about what they've been able to derive from this. That's all I want, you know. I want to help people, and because that's what's in my heart. That's my focus. So the next thing we're talking about is leadership. And we all are people of faith here. We understand that when we go out, we go to church, we have a worship service and we worship God. And that's where it needs to be. Because the power that we have inside of us comes from on high. So we have to argue that. That is the point. But people don't understand one thing, and I'm going to make this very clear. God put His Spirit in us. We have a spirit in us which is so powerful. We can do so many things. And when you look into the world, you can see the results of the power that God has placed in us. For example, I'm using a cell phone to record, and it can broadcast out to the world. We're sitting on tables, we have chairs, we have food. We wear glasses, we have clothes. All these things came from the imagination of man to make these things. But God gave us the raw elements that are just, you know, dirt and water and rock and oil and air. You know, so this just things that was given to us that we were able to use our spirit and our creativity to make so many things. Like someone once said that God gave Adam a tree and he made a house out of it. You know? So when it comes to leadership, I want you all to focus on the aspect that we have an innate power inside of us that makes us great. Now, I'm going to introduce a word to you called tech. You know the word tech means, right? Like technology. Okay. Well, the word tech is to make something which doesn't exist in nature. Like that camera you have there, okay? It's technology, but the word tech means to make something out of what's available that does not exist from the form that you created it from, okay? So whenever you see a pen, a marker, it's tech. Someone made something from the earth. Now this doesn't exist on earth. Now it does, okay? Again, our clothes, this board, everything that we have that is made by man is made from what's available in nature, and so man teched it. He made something new that we now enjoy. And that's a wonderful thing. Well, the same thing comes with leadership. Leadership comes from above, it flows through us, and we find people who we can admire in our world or in our history, and we can say, that person did something that was great, and now I can see how I can also do it as well. Okay? If you admire someone, like, for example, I'm a big fan of Bruce Lee, okay? And Bruce Lee even said, he said, there's a power in me that I don't even know how to describe, but it makes me powerful, it gives me anything that I want. He didn't believe in God, but he believed in the power that was in him. And that's all I focus on, the power that is in us to do great things. And so what Bruce Lee did was, he said that he would take what is useful, he would disregard which was not useful, and then create what is now simply his own. That's how he had this multiple, attitude of martial arts that came from going to different sources. He took a little bit of karate, a little bit of kung fu, a little bit of jiu-jitsu, a little bit of wrestling, a little bit of boxing, and made his own style. And so that's what made him great. But what he really showed me, that's when he really admired him, is that I can do the same thing. The exact same thing. And so I took his essence, his technique, and used it for my life. What did Michael Jordan do? He was a person who arrived early, stayed late. He knew all the drills. He knew how to move. He knew how to pass. He knew how to jump. He was multifaceted, and he became great. Michael Jordan was so great that when he played basketball, they had one guy who was assigned to follow him only with his camera. No matter what Michael Jordan was doing, keep the camera on him at all times because he always did something great. That was a one-time thing, never happened before. Kobe Bryant. Kobe Bryant was someone who was considered one of the greatest basketball players as well. When he went to practice, he only did the basic drills. Passes, the throws, the moves. He did nothing but the basics because he wanted to make sure he got those basics down. But when he played, he was better than anyone else on the field or in the court because he made sure his foundations, his basic skills were pristine. So I learned this from him. If you want to be good at something, just make sure you got the basics down. There's a guy I want you to look at on YouTube. His name was Anatoly. That's his name he uses when he does his pranks. The guy, he looks thinner than me. Okay? If I was thin, but that's But he looks really thin. He wears like a big sweater. And he pretends to be a janitor. He walks in, and you see these big monstrous guys, big muscles, picking up these big, heavy weights. That can weigh as much as 500 pounds. And they're lifting it up. Boom, boom. He says, why? He'll say to them, why do you use fake weights? I said, not fake. He says, this is fake. And he said, well, give it a shot. He goes, oh, so it's fake. It's fake. And he walks away. Or he'll see someone working out with like a big dumbbell, big barbell with 2 plates, 2 here, and they're curling. And he goes, oh, can I try that? And he'll go, no, you can't do that. He says, you're thin, you can't do that. He said, well, let me just try. And he'll go, oh, wow, this is nice. And so it's like, this guy, he is literally twice as strong as anyone, and he looks like a ordinary person. But if you see his body, he's ripped. He's got muscles. That's why he wears a big sweater. But what he does is, he works out only 3 hours a week, or 3 days a week for an hour and a half, by lifting heavy weights in a certain way to get his muscles strong, but he doesn't get bulky, he just gets strong. So that's what he does. So he shows how people can actually become twice as strong by working on the specific thing. Like when you go to work out, I'm sure people will say, okay, you warm up with 10 pounds, then you do 20 pounds, and you do 30 pounds. No, he'll take 50 and work with the 50, and then he's done. The body gets strong because the stress of having to deal with the real deal makes you stronger. That's what it's all about. So people like that, you can see that they have success because they're doing what others won't do. They're doing the things that assist them to get what they want, not just so that they can show off how big my muscles are. So imagine that. This guy, he spends all his time, doing all these fancy movements and all these fancy shots, and when it comes time to play, he doesn't know what to do. He's looking for a chance to score, a chance to dunk, as opposed to pass the ball to someone else. Get the ball and move and be able to be a real player, as opposed to someone who's trying to show off. And so a leader is someone who sees greatness in other people and says, I want this for myself. I want to run my company like Bruce Lee ran his company. Okay? See, in martial arts, the word kung fu, it doesn't mean fighting. It means excellent. So you can say somebody's way of cooking, your cooking style is good kung fu. Your way of raising children is good kung fu. Your way of driving is good kung fu. So kung fu just means excellence. Okay. So he's a kung fu fighter. He's an excellent fighter. That's what the word kung fu means excellence. So you can take somebody's particular way of doing something in their particular field and use their acronym, use their submodalities, their way of doing things to make your life better as well. Someone like Martin Luther King, what did he show us? He was nonviolent. He used scripture. He used logic. He went in there and he spoke the truth. And the guy was assassinated. He said, well, he was a failure. No, he wasn't. He taught other people that if you follow the ways that I follow, which has come from my training, you will get success. Because these ways are universal. When I said no weapon formed against you will prosper, it means that what you have set out to do will eventually get done. Because what you're doing, it does make sense. Think of somebody like Colonel Sanders. Okay? This guy, he was 65 years old. He got his first check, for Social Security. So this ain't working. He figured out, what can I do to make some money? Well, I got a chicken recipe. Now, we've all eaten chicken, we've all made chicken. But who decided to go out and make a business just with chicken? He didn't say anything about mashed potatoes and corn and wedges or anything, right? He just said he just wanted to sell chicken. And he became a multi-millionaire. He died successful in his 80s. But the point was, he went through so much. He thought he'd go to the guy and said, hey, I got your chicken. Take a bite. Oh, love it. We're going to get some more. The guy said, it's just chicken. It's nice, it tastes good, but I don't want it. Okay, find someone who wants it. He had to find 1,000 people to say no before he found one that said yes. Once he found that yes, he became successful. So what did that show me? It showed me that if you got something that's good, stick with it.
Right.
Look for the yeses, not for the nos.
Yes.
That's what it's all about. And so you can say, well, that's his leadership, and now I can do the exact same thing. So leadership has one thing I want to talk about, or the flow I want to talk about. It's in all of us. All of us. It's not about Kobe Bryant, Bruce Lee, Michael Jordan, Tiger Woods. It's about you. It's about you. It's about you. What do you have? Because when you develop what you have inside you, that's in all of us, then you become the personification of what you want to bring out. Oh, it's Cheryl, it's her, whatever it is. Oh, Lorenzo's his thing, it's Mother Kentucky's thing. It becomes personified because you become the person who has identified as doing it, but it was done by 1,000 people before you, 1,000 people after you. Roger Bannister, you know who Roger Bannister was? You know if he's still around? Roger Bannister was the first man to break a sub-minute mile running in a race. So he ran a mile in less than 4 minutes. Okay? And scientists said that if he ran that fast, his heart would explode. They thought that was the case. So he literally risked his life to prove that was wrong. And he did it back in 1954, I think it was. He ran a sub-4 minute mile. And he became the first person to do it. That same year, hundreds of college students and high school kids did it. And since that time, thousands of people have done it. Why? Because they believed it. Okay? So what happens is when you do something great in this world because you derive something that works and people actually follow it, you become the first, but you're not the last. That's the important thing. Okay? The Wright brothers were the first ones to fly a plane for about 30 yards or something like that, okay? But they weren't the last. Now we have planes everywhere, okay? Henry Ford was the first one to have a carburetor who had like 4 cylinders. But he wasn't the last. We have cars that go 300 miles an hour, you know, and they're small, made of electric. The point is, when you do something, you continue on the greatness that is found in the world, and you continue to let it flow. You don't hold it to yourself. They could have said, well, you know what? Let's make a plane, and we're going to meet the guys flying around. Wow, who are these 2 guys? Right where they're flying around. No, share it with the world. Okay? Colonel Sanders said, I got this great chicken, and every time I eat chicken, it's going to be great chicken. No, you want to share it to the world. What you have has to be shared, or you're not a leader. You're just someone who's just a braggadocious person. You're just someone who's a hoarder, you know? Share what you have. The obligation of a leader is to share. Like the Bible says, if it's not Bible class, but we're all Christians, we understand that the Bible says to go into the world and make disciples and teach them to obey all things that I have commanded you. And that's what it's all about. So if you learn something, you're obligated to go into the world and help people to do the exact same thing, but not just to do it, but to also help other people. So if I have something great and I teach it to you, my obligation is to teach it to you and tell you to do the same thing. Pass it on. If I were to whisper something in your ear and you were to pass it on to the next person, by the time I get to that person, it would be a totally different thing that was from what I said. Yeah. But if I wrote a note and hand it to you, and you read it, and you pass that note on, it goes without being disturbed. That's what greatness is. That's why you write it down. That's why you make a course, you write a book, you make a speech, you record it. So when it is transmitted over and over again, that's what leadership is all about. And so when I thought about this focus, I said, well, maybe people don't, maybe they ought to know about being a leader. But I said, you know what, God told me just to say that you have to do what Scripture says, to go into the world. It doesn't mean go into their country, it means go into the world of your job. Go into the world of sports, the world of the dishwashing, of being an accountant. Go into the world. Go into different parts of your city. Go into different segments of your environment, and let them know that there are leaders in here. My wife always says in her talks that I don't see presidents. She tells them I see kings. You know, well, I see the same thing. I see leaders everywhere I go. But you have to take the initiative to derive something and say, yes, I'm going to use that. Okay? So that's the focus of leadership. Thank you. So our last focus, to me, is one thing that I started out with years ago: self-defense, martial arts. And my wife and I, we went around universities, we did seminars, and I did workshops and all kinds of stuff. And I realized something. I'm right now 63 years old. I have not been in a fight with someone since 1977. All right? We're talking like, what, 44 years or so? I have not been in a fight with anybody. And that's nice. So why do I spend all these years trying to defend myself if the probability of me getting into a fight is really minimized? So I realized something. Self-defense, personal safety, as I call it, is not about kicking someone's butt. It's about not getting your own butt kicked. And now I'll explain what that means. If you're someone and you are, in your own mind, you know this, you're overweight and you're out of shape and you're on medications and you got all kinds of problems, you have kicked your own butt. Because years ago, you knew that you should have exercised, you should have ate right, you should have slept right, you should have taken care of your body, but you didn't do it. You felt it more important to watch TV than to stand up and take a walk. Do a little exercise, okay? You know that in China, my thing's right there, in the Orient, when the kids watch their cell phones, they do this. They're down there for hours, and they're playing with their cell phone. Or even when they go to the bathroom, they have these little toilets like this here, okay? Well, their legs are strong. People in China, in the Asian world, their legs are strong. Most Americans can't do this. I'm like 60 years old, like I'm down here, and it's comfortable, okay? We don't work in our legs. How when you get older? Your knees get bad, hips get bad, your lower back gets bad. Why? Because you didn't work on your legs. If you simply took a walk every now and then, you simply stood up every now and then, you'd be a lot stronger, you'd be a lot better off, but you don't do it, so you end up with having to get new knees, new hips, all kinds of problems. you kicked your own butt because you didn't take care of yourself. And I'm not saying this to make you, I feel bad, because I'm in the same boat. Trust me, I got a lot of problems I'm dealing with. But I'm trying to say is I have less problems because the things I have done. So, personal safety is about doing the things you have to do early or start today so you don't end up getting your butt kicked in the future. I taught you guys something today. If you guys save $5 a day for a year, you will guaranteed to have $1,800 in your coffers, while you putting in the bank in 1 year. Who wouldn't want that? Okay. But if a year goes by, if next year on the 9th of November, and you guys don't have $1,800, and you knew you could have done it very easily, you kicked your own butt. You didn't do what you have to do. That's the point I'm trying to say. Okay? Let's also look at, for example, again, wealth. If you don't have money saved up, if you're someone, you're in deep debt, you don't got no money, again, you kicked your own butt because you didn't save $5 a day, or you spent more money on the cable or whatever you did. I'm not pointing fingers, but you kicked your own butt. If you're someone who is in a bad relationship, you don't get along with your spouse, you don't get along with your kids, you didn't raise your children the right way. You didn't make sure that when you were trying to find someone to be your spouse, your mate, you pick the quality that you say, you know what? I don't want someone who's mean-spirited. I don't want someone who uses alcohol. I don't want somebody. You have a list of things that you want. You have requirements. When you go to a restaurant, do you tell the waiter, give me whatever you want? No. You say, I want this, and I don't want this. Take away this. You tell the waiter what you want. They go to the kitchen and say, make it the way the person wants it. They bring it back the wrong way. What do you say? I don't want that. I don't want this. It's not my order. Okay. So why not our own lives? Do you want to? Do you want to end up, overweight, broke, bad relationship, not being smart because you didn't study? You spent all these hours watching TV and never reading. You didn't learn something. So what I'm saying is this, including to myself. It's not about what happened in the past. You cannot go back in the past and change what happened in the past, even 5 minutes ago. But you can control what you do in the future. So it starts today. It all starts today. I always say today's day one. It starts today. If you can look at your life, you look at those areas, talk about your health, your wealth, your relationship, your intelligence, your ability to do things, have things, and to be things, it starts today and it moves forward. Forget about the things that passed and move forward to the goal. And that's right out of scripture. So, like I pledged to my wife, I will try to be a better husband today. Okay? I will try to be a better friend today. I will try to do more, have more today. That's the only place I can take it from. I can't go back 5 years, or I can't go back even 5 minutes. I can only take it from today. Okay? And so that's how you end up not getting your own butt kicked. By looking at your life and saying, I need to change something. Let's get that done. Okay? Now, let's look at self-defense stuff. Because that is a focus. Personal safety is about being able to recognize where you are and deal with it as it pertains to you. So there are things, it's in your notes, called the color code of combat. And there are 5 levels. Okay? The first level is condition white. Condition white is when you are totally relaxed, totally unaware of what's going on, nothing matters to you. Okay? That's when you're at your house, in your home, doors are locked, you're okay. I don't want to be in my house thinking, oh, what's that noise? What's going on? No. I want to be at home, relaxed, chill out, no problem. Condition white is only when you're in your house. When you go outside, you can't be, oh, no problem. No, because the world is full of crazy things that happen all the time. You have to be aware. So condition The second condition is called condition yellow. That's called going out with a sense of caution. It's like if you cross the street, you look both ways and you proceed with caution. That's it. You're not freaked out, you're not stressed out, but you're looking around. You're not on your cell phone, you don't got your earbuds on, you're aware of your surroundings, and you're cool with it. You feel good, you're alert. How many times have you seen someone who you know on the street, walk up to them, tap on the shoulder, and happens all the time. Now, I make a joke out of that because people, they're not aware. Sometimes if I walk up to you, sweetie, and just tap you on the shoulder, and I actually saw you walk right up to you, you didn't see me, and I say, boom, you say, oh, what's going on?
Like a ninja.
You know, because we're not aware of our surroundings.
Right.
And so condition yellow is about being aware of your surroundings. It's a good place to be when you're outside. Now there's condition orange. Condition orange is when you're walking down the street or you're outside and you see something that causes you to say, I need to take that thing and focus on it, because it might become something that I might have to deal with. Someone you see looks kind of strange, you see an accident on the road, you see an animal crossing the road, whatever it is, you see something and you say to yourself, I might have to deal with this. So you simply turn and go the other direction, move out of the area, and you dealt with it. It's no big deal. It's like you walk up the street and you step out and you see a car coming, you back up, and you're okay. That's being in condition orange. No problem. But condition red is when you were totally goofy and not paying attention. Now something's on you. The person is right in front of you, the danger is real, it's on, you gotta deal with it. You can't run, you can't escape, it's a real threat, condition red.
Yes, sir.
Okay? It becomes serious. Now at this point, this is where you have to go into what we call condition black. Condition black is a state that only you can put yourself into. Life puts you into condition yellow because you have to be aware. Condition orange, you see things. Condition red, when things come upon you, that's all about life. But how you respond to it is condition black. Condition black is when you do what you're trained to do and you get it done. Okay? So condition black is like this here. Guy comes up to me and he says, I'm going to attack your wife, okay? Because I want her purse. I'm going to take your wife, okay? I like her, I'm going to take your wife, okay? So I'm standing there and I go, okay, this is happening, it's a real thing. And now I decide to myself, what am I going to do with this guy? Am I going to hurt him or am I going to kill him? That's it. There's the only joke you got.
Yeah.
It's not about I'm going to get him, am I going to do 5 minutes with my wife? Or I'll come back in a half hour? No, you have only 2 choices. I'm either going to hurt the guy or kill him. Those are the only 2 choices that I got. Okay. It's what you do. Now, and again, we laugh, but the point is, doing something like that is pretty serious. Now, think about this here, though. If I have no fear, and I have told myself what to do to take care of the situation, I'm just going to do it. I mean, I'm done with it. It's over. We go home. Okay? But let's say, for example, I walk down the street and someone bumps into me, hit my shoulder, and they keep walking. Okay? Now I say to myself, oh, he hit me. Now that was like condition red. Now I got to go to condition black. I'm going to hurt him or kill him. No. You go right back into condition yellow and say the guy walked away. He was rude. He was a son of a gun. But it's not, doesn't require me to even respond to him because I'm sure he does it all the time. But people do, what they do is someone bumps into somebody, or they get into a road situation where they like a near miss, then they go into condition black. They pull out their gun and they shoot. They start yelling and screaming. No. If the car missed, if it's over, it's over. So go back into condition yellow and keep on going down the road. You'll be fine. Because life will always give you little indicators. You deal with it, and go back into your condition where you're just, it's no problem, it's fine. You have to deal with that.
Yeah.
Okay? Your job if someone calls you a name, they call you, a word that you don't like. And you go, I'm gonna kill this guy. Or I'm gonna hurt him. No. You don't go to condition black or something like that, you go back to condition yellow, and you go, oh, you're not my friend no more, that's fine, I'll meet someone else to talk to. We have to understand that these codes tell you that there are times when you need to react, and there are times when you need to not react. Now, for example, some guy comes up to you and he says, give me your wallet, you have a gun, give me your wallet, okay, give me your cell phone, okay, and it's okay, no problem. You know, you're in condition orange, and now it's red, but you say, it's okay, I can deal with this. Now, guys, okay, now come with me to the alley now, okay? Now you're no longer in condition orange or condition black. He's going to kill you when he gets into the alley. When they find people in the alleys, they're not because they were just taking theirs too. They will say, okay, no, I want to do something to you. Now you stand, you go, no, what am I going to do? No. You have to decide, I'm going to either hurt him or kill him. That's it. And you do what you got to do. That is it. And you don't take off your coat, you don't put your hands up, you just attack. Okay? So, this is why I would say, in condition black, you attack. That's what it's all about. You have to understand when is the time to totally protect yourself or totally just let things go. If a guy is in your face and he's yelling and screaming at you, but he's just no threat, he's just mad, he's your boss or your brother or your friend or whoever, you capitulate, you go back. You don't attack, you just, hey, life is this way. Next day you apologize and you're back being friends. But too many of us are trained that when someone gets into your face, you take them out. If someone cuts you off, you take them out. If someone calls you out your name, you knock them out, you hurt them. We need to teach our children that there are ways to work in society that are based on areas of stress, and response is so much more important than anything else to respond properly. You have to learn how to use it. So by having these codes in my head, I understand. Talk to my wife, she gets my face. Okay. I'm gonna go back to yellow, and I'm gonna just walk away, or say, you know, honey, I love you, and give her a hug, or let her still. It's okay. I'm not gonna go into condition black with my wife. I'm not going to. I'm not going to. But some people say, I remember one time there was a friend of mine, in quotes, came to my house and he stole my brother's shoes. And he said, I'm gonna leave now. He said, I said, okay, I can see a bus stop. No, it's okay, no problem. I'll see you. He went to the bathroom, came back, I'm gonna leave now, take care. And he left. And we moved that same night. Next time my brother said, where are my shoes at? I thought, okay, logically speaking, oh, my friend stole them. So I go back to my school the next day. Not only is he there, he's wearing my brother's shoes. And I go, you stole my brother's shoes. Okay? And so he apologized, blah, blah, blah. He took off the shoes, gave me the shoes. First we went and had lunch. Then he gave me back the shoes and I went home. And so I said, I got the shoes back. And my friend said, did you beat him up? No, I went there with the shoes, not to beat him up. I want to beat him up. You see? So that's the attitude. I don't know if I was a punk because I didn't beat the guy, but I got the shoes back. That's what it was all about. I didn't have to go into black. I went into condition yellow, condition orange. I dealt with it. That's what it's all about. Okay? So, you have these notes, please study this, understand what this means. It's a very good psychological mindset for our society. We need to teach ourselves, teach our kids that you need to respond with the areas of awareness that it requires to resolve the situation, not just to make yourself feel like, oh, I really did something great, and now I'm going to end up in jail or worse. So, what did we learn today? We learned that focus is important, and it's an ongoing thing. I've been doing this for, like I say, over 50 years, and God gives me a longer life. I continue to do this. But when it comes to what you do with this, it's important. Okay? And I'm going to ask those who are able to do so, please contact me. I want to do this. I want to do this all around the city, all around the world. And I think it's a special thing that I've been given, and time is now. But to focus on memory training, please use those 10 pegs I gave you. Focus on the math of life. Okay, hope in a year, tell me they got that $1,800. Okay, they lost that 50 pounds that they want to lose by looking at the caloric deficit that they can put themselves into. Hope everybody can say, I can learn this to speak a language, Je sais dans le show les gens qui c'est très important, très focus.
I know that's French. I don't know what you said. It's French.
That's French, right? I want everybody to know that a leader is about being able to take something from someone else and do something with it. Not for you all to be doing your own focus 5 type of things, going through the world and giving out what's yours. Whatever you have to offer the world, do it to its highest level and being great. Just like our brother here, he's got this wonderful play, The Awakening, and it's his baby. And I saw it 3 times, and I can see that it was something that he saw needed to be said and need the world to see. So I applaud you for what you do. And also my wife, she got her ministry, So, we all got something. Can I go around the room? It's like, come on, my brothers are doing it. It's Italian, singing that song. And all of us, Cheryl, anybody here. The point is we all, I'm here, But the point is we all can do something to make the world better. Say what the fact that you were here, it meant something. It's like I wish Bruce Lee had lived longer, but what if the world didn't have Bruce Lee in it? How would my life have been impacted as a small boy who admired his martial arts and used that ability to do what I did? Or what if there wasn't a Martin Luther King? What if there wasn't a Malcolm X? What if there wasn't a Michael Jordan, a Michael Jackson? What would it be like? If people didn't step up and show their greatness. So the same thing about you. What would the world be like if it wasn't, you? Don't let the world lose that. It's so important. And then the last thing is, it's not about kicking people's butts. It's about not getting your own butt kicked. Okay? Do what you gotta do to be healthy, people. To be healthy, to be financially solvent, to be intelligent, to be someone who knows how to live their life by design. And if you're not doing it, again, no one here is walking on water and has a halo. But I'm trying to say that we have the ability to start today to make our life shine. And what it'll be in 12 months, I'm excited for all of you if you start today. Okay? So that's the end of my session. Thank you. So we have a survey for you guys, please. Fill out the survey and let me know what you think about this here. There's things in there I'm going to ask you guys if you guys would like to donate to my funding for my book or to help me to keep this going. Please contact me. And but the rest of the time is yours. Please get something to eat, and we'll be here until 1 o'clock. But you don't have to say that time. But I'll be here. I got to clean up and anything. But again, thank you. Oh, I got a book called "Welcome to the Kingdom." It's already out there. I gotta get it published.
Would you be willing to do this down in jail?
Anywhere I can do this. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Does everybody have a survey?
I do not.
Okay, I'll get you.
Who's got?
Oh, thank you, man. Appreciate that. Appreciate that, brother.
No, that's what I need.